And then we don't touch this one because it's dirty, because it's on the floor. We don't touch it. We don't touch it. We don't touch it.
I'm gonna break down what's happening in this video and show you how we could be more helpful next time.
We don't touch it. We don't touch it.
Okay, if you're an adult, I already know what you hear when you watch this video. But if you hope to guide a young child, it's important for you to know what the child hears in this video. The child is hearing, we touch it, we touch it, touch it, we touch it.
We don't touch it. We don't touch it.
When you're giving a child direction, it's helpful to focus on what you do want as opposed to what you don't want. Think about it like a Google search. If you type in Google, no running, stop running, don't run, you're gonna get lots of results of people running. But if you type into Google walking or walking feet, you're gonna get lots of results of people walking. If you focus on running and touching, they're gonna focus on running and touching too. And even as they get older and they're able to fully process the no, stop, don't, you're then relying on their impulse control not to do the thing. And the capacity for their impulse control isn't fully developed till at least 25, 26. And do you really want to rely on their impulse control for them not to do the thing that you're telling them not to do? Or do you want to work with their brain and focus on the things that they can do to be successful so that they can practice those things in the moment or next time? When we say things like stop running, stop hitting, stop getting bad grades, stop being mean to your sister, these are phrases that are not helpful because you can't do a don't. And even when our brain is fully formed, we still need help knowing what to do as opposed to what not to do. Like, what if I just got this video right now and said, don't do what that parent did and left you at that? How helpful would that be? How likely would you be to change your behavior for next time you're in that situation? Pretty unlikely because I didn't give you anything to do. Just for a moment, reflect on how frustrating that would be and use that as a point of empathy for all the children who constantly get told what not to do and rarely ever get shown and told what to do. And it can also help to be specific when we're telling a child or an adult what to do. Because from watching this video, you might say, all right, I got it. Instead of saying, stop being mean to your sister, I'm gonna switch that to, be nice to your sister. But even that is too general to really be helpful. Instead, we could say something like, she doesn't like it when you call her poopy pants. She wants you to call her by her name. Phrases like, call her by her name, write on your own paper, get my attention like this, are specific enough to be helpful. So let's get a little bit more specific with this video.
We don't touch it. We don't touch it. We don't touch it.
I'm gonna give you 2 different ways to handle this, and depending on what your goals are, will depend on which one you would probably use. The first play that I would run is kind of a 4-part strategy. The first thing that I would do is I would gently hold the child's hand for connection, because remember, connection primes the brain for willingness. And the other reason is that it allows for gentle guidance to where I want the child to go with their hand. Then at the second part, I'd say, and that will get their attention and activate their prefrontal lobes, making it easier for them to follow my next direction. Then I would say something like, grab the handlebar like this, or squeeze the handlebar like this. And that was actually the third and the fourth part of the play, because it's important for us to not only tell children what to do, but also show them what to do, especially when it comes to young children. And the phrase like this and then showing them is an important part of that 4th step. Now, if you really want the child to focus on whatever you're trying to show them without them touching it, I would try a little bit of a different strategy. I might do something like, hands up. All right, clap for yourself. You did it. Put your hands behind your back like this and look like this. Wow. So there's lots of different ways that you can apply these conscious discipline strategies. If you want to learn all of these strategies, this is the #1 book that I recommend getting, and it will teach you all the strategies, the ones that I talked about, and it'll go deeper into it, and it will teach you more ones that you didn't even think about knowing, right? You don't know what you don't know, and this has a lot of things that I promise you don't know yet.
Here, come here, baby.
And look, y'all, we didn't grow up with this stuff. We are used to the fear and control-based strategies that we grew up with. So relanguaging and focusing on what to do instead of what not to do might feel a little awkward for us, and it might be hard because it's not our first language. Judgment, fear. Control is our first language, but we can make the shift in our brain, then we can start moving towards connection and collaboration and showing children what to do as opposed to what not to do. That will then become their first language, and they won't have to work so hard to break these generational cycles that we are working so hard to do. So remember, avoid being a perfectionist, be an improvementist. The goal isn't to be perfect every day. The goal is to improve a little every day. You got this.